Hello everybody. The old workhorse is back on the trail. It is near the end of February. We have a reasonably nice day of weather. So I am out here testing out Schwalbe's new Radial casing Magic Mary, which they tout gives a 30% more improved contact patch at the same air pressure. Now, due to the softness of these tires, I'm actually running a good bit more air than what the Trek calculator recommended. I'm currently at 30 pounds in the rear and 25 in the front because I'm here at Rocky Ridge and the rocks are known to tear tires up. One of the things I can say right off the bat about these tires is, even though they're pumped up above and beyond what I would normally put my tires at, they are still very soft to the feel, and they roll over these roots. You almost can't feel these little roots. And trail is a bit muddy. We've had quite a season of in and out of snow and ice and whatnot. So now these Magic Mary are supposed to be pretty much for any trail condition. They have a wide open lug that sheds mud surprisingly well. Aggressive side knobs for stout cornering, we shall see. And they're supposed to be pretty good for braking and for acceleration, traction up hills. So far I can tell you I ran through a pretty good stretch of mud back there and didn't have any problems with traction at all. Looking down at the front tire, I can honestly say that there isn't any mud hung up in the grooves, so that's pretty good. One of the bigger complaints about the new Radial tires is that they are slow and squishy, and I can tell you that definitely holds up. I would not see this tire being used on a fast running hardtail for trail use. I can say this, it almost feels like I have an additional 10 mils of front travel in my front suspension over these little rocks and roots. I'm actually purposefully running into things just to see what it feels like. Now at my weight, Trek says I should have 20 pounds in the front and 25 in the rear. So I am about 5 pounds over what the recommendation is. And they still feel very soft. But they track really nice over this low cobble. One of my primary concerns for the new Magic Marys that I put here is the compound was ultra soft. Now, great advances have been made over the last couple decades of making softer, more pliable compounds that aren't given to just tearing to shreds. So my hope is that the technology there has caught up at least a little bit. Otherwise, there's a good chance that these tires are going to be shredded at the East Coast chunk trails that I ride on. Now these tires are right on the mark. No problems with the off-camber roots at all. They do suck up some of the bounce when you go to jump things. So if you're looking for a bicycle that's more poppy and playful, these tires are probably not what you're going to want. Honestly, the word I would use for them right now is planted. You really do feel like you're a part of the earth. Can say this, that I think next time I'm going to take 2 pounds of air out of the rear and maybe 2 pounds out of the front. Although so far the front feels pretty good. Back is a little clunky back there. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of daylight as I'm riding after work, and the daylight savings time hasn't added an hour in the evenings, so I'm only going to have time for what used to be Trail 5 at Rocky Ridge, where I'm riding today. Another thing that I did to the bike over the winter is I had the handlebars cut down by probably a good ½ inch on each side. The wingspan, as it were, did feel a bit too wide, and I was getting real tired of clipping trees on the way by. And if you can't tell by the huffing and puffing, I'm as out of shape as I always seem to be early in the season. Although, man, this is a smooth ride. Wow, that's a nice cut turn there. I didn't really even have to lean into that when it tracked so nicely. It's a good transition from the center knobs to the side knobs. Nothing felt wishy-washy at all. Very predictable. It almost feels like your tire's flat when you hit things, especially that sharp tombstone style rock there. Oh, this is going to make roots so much more fun to go over. Maybe I'll even clear the dark side this year. Now that would be a real trick. I'm gonna have to watch my jumps later this year when I start doing jumps. Can already tell that that front tire is gonna soak up a lot of rotation. Gonna cause a lot of rotation. Just sucks up the energy of the lip. I'm gonna have to purposefully change the geometry of my jumps just a little bit so I can get off of them square. Wow, just takes so much of the hard bounce when you land. Of course, finding the exact pressures to ride these tires for each park is going to be trial and error, but at the moment I'm pretty confident that these tires are going to be as good as they tout. I foresee in the future a lot of other bike manufacturers moving toward this technology. I've often in the past wondered why they didn't make a more radial design tire with a flatter casing. Cars have had radial tires for well, 50 years, and it does a tremendous amount to increase the contact patch. A little bit of a soft section of dirt there, not even a hint of losing traction in it. Currently in granny gear, just torquing up that way. I think these tires are really going to shine in low speed granny gear uphills. Impressive. I think the hardest thing to get used to is going to be that feeling that when you hit a root or something, you want to get out and check your tire, so it feels like it's going flat on you. Oh, hey, looks like the bike club put a bridge in this year over the muddy spot, or at least part of it. Good deal, guys. Looks like I have some mud to go through to get there, though. Well, I came out here to give this tire its paces, and we'll see how she does. Oh, man, it felt pretty solid for loose mud like that. Later on in the season, when I have the time to go down trails that I have recorded times on, it'll be interesting to see if what I gain in steering and dampening will make up for the speed lost from the soft casing. Right now I am just chugging through some sloppy wet stuff, and these tires just aren't having any problems at all with this. Oh, somebody behind me coming up from the rear. Let me move over. How's your day going?
Not bad. How about you?
I'm trying out those new Schwalbe Radial tires. If you haven't seen those yet, it's an interesting feel. It really is.
Yeah?
Yeah, they almost feel like they're flat even when they're overinflated a little bit.
Okay.
And they just eat through that mud like it's nothing.
Nice. Sounds like these are the tires and wheels that came on this thing.
That was a nice little ride for our early season.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Can't wait till that daylight savings time kicks in.
One more week.
One more hour every night.
Hell yeah.
Well, everybody, hope you enjoyed this short ride as much as I did. Y'all be good and keep the rubber side down.